Okay, so here we go, special segments of similar triangles. So we're still dealing with all those proportions. So we're going to just keep going with that, okay? All right, so here we go. The first part is you need to make sure you understand that the parts of the triangles are also proportional if the triangles are similar, okay? So for example, if these two triangles are similar, so similar triangles, their corresponding altitudes are proportional as well. So let's move this up here. Okay, so we're going to look at this. So this altitude corresponds with this altitude, so you can set up all these different proportions. You only need two pieces at a time. So I could set up QA and UW with QR and UV. So I could say QR and UV. So it's just a matter of what information is given as to how you want to set up your proportion, but there are many different ways to do so. The same thing goes for angle bisectors. So the angle bisector and this angle bisector would be this piece here, and it's also proportional to all the other sides as well. And the same thing goes for the medians, okay? So the median is proportional to this median, and again, you can set up several different proportions. All right, so let's go with this one. Here we have an altitude. So I know this altitude here pairs with this altitude here, so I'm going to say 3 over x. So this side pairs with this side. So since I used my 3, so that would be 4 over 3. So then I cross multiply, so I go this way first, I get 4x, then go this way, you get 9, and then divide both sides by 4. So x is 9 over 4. And you can just leave it as a fraction, or if you're more comfortable, you can turn it into a decimal yourself. All right, now we got this one, okay? So in this one, we know that this is an angle bisector. And here's the cool thing about angle bisectors is another thing, one of the other proportions is when you take this angle bisector here, it splits this side proportionately to these sides. So I'm going to pair this with this. So x pairs with 20. Therefore, this side is going to pair with this side. So I'm going to pair the 15 with the 30. And then I'm going to set them equal and cross multiply. So I go this way, so I get 30x equals 20 times 15 is 300. So then if I divide both sides by 30, I get that x is 10. So this would be 9 over 4. This one's going to be 10. And then over here we have medians. So the median, it cuts the triangle proportionately as well. So I'm going to say the 16 pairs with the 28. As the x plus 1 pairs with the 2x minus 2. And I'm going to set them equal. And then I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to go this way. So I get 28 times x plus 1. Then I'm going to go this way. 16 times 2x minus 2. And then I'm going to set them equal. Then I'm going to distribute. So 28x plus 28 equals 32x minus 32. So then, next thing I'm going to do is move the smaller x. So I'm going to subtract 28x from both sides. So I've got 28 equals 4x minus 32. And then I'm going to add this 32 to both sides. So I get 4x equals 60. And then if you divide both sides by 4, you get that x is 15. So x is 15. Okay? So it's the same thing we've been doing, it's just now the parts are also similar to each other. All right, so let's look at this. Find FG. Well, if they're wanting me to find FG, and this is FG over here, then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, well, FG is my x, because it said to find FG. And it says they are similar. So SH is the altitude, and FJ is the altitude, so that means they're similar. So if ST is 6 and SH is 5 and FJ is 7, then all you do is pair them together. The altitudes go together. 5 over 7 pairs with 6 over x. 5x equals 42. So divide by 5. X is 8.4. So FG is 8.4. Since my x is FG, then that's the same answer. Okay, now this one is our angle bisector. So since it's the angle bisector, I know that this pairs with this. So 7 pairs with x. So 20 pairs with 24. So I'm going to cross multiply. 20x equals 168. Divide both sides by 20. And you get 8.4 again. So that means this piece right here is 8.4. All right. Now, perimeters are also part of a triangle, okay? So since a perimeter is part of a triangle, then that means the perimeters are also proportional. Well, I know that this 5 is going to pair with the 12. So I'm going to go ahead and say the 5 pairs with the 12. Now, they want me to find the perimeter of this one, so GKH. So the perimeter of this one is x, because I don't know what it is. But the perimeter of this one, I do know. It's 84, because 37 plus 35 plus 12 is 84. So that means the perimeter of the little one pairs with the perimeter of the big one. Cross multiply. And go this way. 420. Divide both sides by 12. And you find out that x is 35. Well, since my x is my perimeter, then the perimeter is 35. So let's try it again. Okay, this time they want me to find the perimeter of this one here. Okay, so AB is 5, BC is 6, AC is 7, DE is 3. Well, the perimeter of this one is x because I don't know. But the perimeter of this one is 5 plus 6 plus 7. So the perimeter of this one is 18. And since DE pairs with AB, then I'm going to say that 5 goes with 3, just like 18 goes with x. So I'm going to cross multiply. 5x equals, cross multiply this way, 54. Divide both sides by 5. X is 10.8. So that means the perimeter of the little one is 10.8. It's super easy, and all you have to do is just put corresponding parts together. Still, this side goes with this side. This perimeter goes with this perimeter. Okay? So a triangle has a perimeter of 24. What would be the perimeter of a similar triangle if the scale factor between the two triangles is 2/3? Well, since the scale factor is 2/3, well, remember the perimeter scale factor is the same. So let's say that the smaller triangle has a perimeter of 24. So I'm going to put a 24 up here with the 2 because 2 is smaller than 3. So I'm going to say that my x is my larger triangle. So if I cross multiply, I get 2x equals 72. So x is 36. So that would mean that the large triangle has a perimeter of 36. So I'm going to say the large perimeter is 36. But now what if this was the large? Well, if it was the large, because they weren't specific here, usually they're specific, but they weren't here. So let's say that this is the large perimeter. So if I've got 2/3 now, then the 24 would go in the bottom because 3 is larger than 2. And then I would put the smaller up here. So then I would say 3x equals 48 divided by 3, x is 16. So the small perimeter, depending on how we set it up, small p would be 16. So just depending on what information they give you depends on whether it goes in the top or the bottom. So if they told you it was small, then you would put it with the small number. If they told you it was the large, you would put it with the larger number. Okay. So Mary wants to jog around a triangular park. So she's got this park that she wants to go around. On a scale map, the park has a perimeter of 11 inches. But the scale is 1 inch to every 100 yards. So what is the actual perimeter? Well, I know that the perimeter is 11 inches because it told me that here. So I'm going to pair the 11 inches up here with the inches, and I'm going to find the yards. So 1 times x is x. 11 times 100 is 1100. So that means the perimeter is 1100 yards. So all you have to do is take that scale factor that they give you and make a fraction out of it, and then make your second fraction match. Okay, now, what about photography? Okay, so let's say that we have this picture here. Okay, please, this is 35 millimeter. This is 42 millimeters. And this is 6.16 meters, and they want to know how tall is the tree. So if you're standing there and you're going to take a picture of the tree, this is basically what the camera is doing. It's creating these isosceles triangles for you. So let's write a proportion. So I know that the 35 millimeters, since that's the height here, it's going to pair with the height of the tree. So it's going to pair with the height of the tree. The 42 is the horizontal, so it's going to pair with the horizontal and how far away the tree is. So that's going to be 6.16 meters. Okay, I do not have to convert because I have 2 millimeters and 2 meters, so it'll actually cancel itself out. So now I've got my proportion. So cross multiply, so if I go this way, I get 42x. And if I go this way, I get 35 times 6.16. So 42x is equal to 215.6. Divide both sides by 42. X is 5.13 meters. So that means that that tree or that sculpture is about 5.13 meters tall. Okay, so that's all you have to do. Just put your corresponding pieces together and set up your proportion. The end.